14 or whatever he put there as the over-under number for trades in the month leading up to the deadline, and it blew right past it, and it blew right past it with blockbuster moves made by the New York Jets and the Indianapolis Colts and the Dallas Cowboys. She is Michelle Smallman. He is Chris Canty, who said yesterday on our show, as you just heard, a first-rounder would go, and I am Evan Cohen. Good morning, everybody. How we doing today?
Never question Adam Schefter. There is nobody more plugged into the NFL, and when he said there are going to be 15 trades, there's going to be 15 trades at the trade deadline. People were making moves yesterday, and I thought it was awesome, Smalls.
It was awesome. I'm sure this was Evan Cohen's favorite day of the year.
Amazing.
As soon as I saw these deals coming in, I'm like, is Evan okay? Wellness check on Evan Cohen. But we had talked about the Jets and what we thought they should do yesterday. We said, listen, you're not winning any games. If you're going to give Aaron Glenn some runway to build something, why don't you put the front office and the team in the best position to build for the future? And boy, did they take that advice serious yesterday, moving on for some big pieces and acquiring some big-time capital.
For anybody who's unaware, the Jets made two massive deals yesterday. They traded away all-pro corner Sauce Gardner, all-pro defensive lineman Quinnen Williams, and what they get from the Colts for the Sauce Gardner deal, a cornerback going to Indy. Obviously, a really good team this year. A 2026 first-rounder, a 2027 first-round pick, and A.D. Mitchell, a wide receiver, second-round pick out of Texas a couple of years ago. From the Cowboys, and the deal for defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick, as well as defensive lineman from Michigan, former first-round pick Mozzie Smith. So what the New York Jets did yesterday is they added not one, not two, but three total first-round picks, and they have four over the next 2 years. Dare I say, I think the New York Jets are really smart. What just happened?
Is that the first time you've ever said that?
I will say it again. I think the New York Jets are really smart. I really do. You stink with them. I promise you, you could stink without them. And what they did yesterday was acknowledge, we tried it. There's nothing these two individuals did wrong. There's nothing off the field that's an issue. There's nothing really on the field that's an issue. We're just not working this way, and so let's restart this thing. Dare I say the New York Jets are actually really smart. Their general manager is Darren Muji. He had this to say after making the trades yesterday.
A lot of work goes into it. Never an easy day. A lot of tough decisions. Never easy moving on from any player, let alone guys like Sauce and Quinnen, who've been a part of this organization and a part of this team this year. You're set on what these values are really, what they're really worth in these players and what you might be willing to do to part ways with them. And we got to today and had these offers that we just felt were too good for the team.
Before we get to the head coaching part of it, because this is a big part of it, let's talk about the moves they made. Do you guys like what the New York Jets did yesterday? We'll get to the Cowboys part. We'll get to the Colts part coming up. Do you like what the Jets did? Two monster moves deadline day.
I like what they did because that means that Aaron Glenn is going to be sticking around for a while. There's no way that you can move on from your head coach if you're trading away his two best players, specifically on the side of the ball where he cut his chops in the NFL. So it just makes sense that they give him the amount of time that he needs to not only turn over the roster and get the players that fit his scheme, but give him an opportunity to reset the culture. And to me, that was the biggest win for the New York Jets yesterday. Yesterday was driven by the New York Jets' urgency to get the locker room, the chemistry within the team, the overall culture within the franchise fixed. Because that has been the thing that's plagued them. They have the longest playoff drought in North American major team sports. That's for a reason. You got a bad culture in your building. You're not changing the owner. You cycle through general managers and head coaches time and time again. Now it's clear that the New York Jets are taking culture seriously, and they're going to allow Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji to get their guys, their pieces that they want to establish as cornerstones to build their program around. So I love the decision. I thought they got a massive haul. The Sauce Gardner deal from the Indianapolis Colts, A+. That was a great deal. Sauce hasn't been playing well the last year and a half, so being able to take advantage of the urgency that the Colts have to go for it this year, I thought was big time. And then the Quinnen Williams deal made sense for a lot of different reasons, but namely because he was at odds with the head coach. And this started back when Aaron Glenn dismissed Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't something that Quinnen was happy about. He took to social media about it. The two have tried to mend fences, but it's still an icy relationship. And then, oh, by the way, this is a guy that wants a new contract because he's going to need a new deal in 2 years. So for the New York Jets, it made sense to move off of him just because he wasn't on the same page with the head coach, and he's going to get more expensive moving forward.
Mm-hmm. You said that this is an opportunity for this regime to get their guys, namely their quarterback, because you're not going to win in this league unless you have a quarterback. And now you have a lot of draft capital to go out there, figure out who your guy is and get him and build around him. And we had talked about some pieces yesterday that the Jets may move on from. We threw out Breece Hall. I threw out Quinnen Williams. And we had talked about names. Sauce Gardner is not a name that we brought up, probably because he just signed that big extension. They just paid him. So you didn't really think that they would necessarily move on from him. But I thought it was a very smart approach by the Jets yesterday. They were realistic about where they are. They were realistic about what they need to do to build for the future. And they moved on from a lot of talent that they drafted in order to rebuild from the studs up. However, you draft talent like Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, and they hit. You need to make sure with these picks that you bring in the right players. Just because you get that capital does not mean that you bring in the right guys, so they cannot mess this up.
That's absolutely correct. Let's also add on one thing. Aaron Glenn got a contract extension yesterday. That's what yesterday was about. Not in dollars, not in years. But what happened yesterday was Aaron Glenn got a contract extension. For all those people that thought he was going to get canned after year one or maybe within year one if they didn't win a game, what happened yesterday was they said, you're wrong about that. Not only is he getting this year, he's going to get next year, and he's going to get the year after. He went from maybe 1 year to at least 3 years in one day yesterday. Because what they said, and I think this is the right thing to do if you're going to hire a man like Aaron Glenn, who's going to try to be a culture builder over the course of time. There are no preconceived notions anymore. There's no, in the past we did this or it didn't work out. No. Yet today is the first day of the Aaron Glenn regime. Let's be real clear about that. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Quinnen Williams. It's not Sauce Gardner. Today is the first day of the Aaron Glenn regime.
Did you hear what you just said?
What?
Did you hear what you just said?
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
No, but I'm co-signing your point.
Okay.
It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Quinnen Williams. It's not Sauce Gardner. Mm-hmm. If you said that a year ago, it'd be unfathomable.
Yeah, well, they failed. They failed.
I'm not saying that they didn't fail as players, but think about it. Jets fans could not have imagined moving on from those players.
Oh, I don't even think they did enough yesterday. I think they should have gone even further.
Fair enough. We'll get into all of that. But I'm just saying, you chose your head coach over those individuals.
That's true.
Guys that have proven things in this league. All pros, Hall of Famer.
That you drafted.
Yeah, well, exactly. Mm-hmm. You chose
guys.
Aaron Glenn over those guys. You know what that does to your head coach? That gives him a level of clout and cachet in that building that I'm not sure when we could say that the last time about a Jets head coach. Yeah. Guess what? If Aaron Glenn is telling you to do it a certain way, if Aaron Glenn is trying to get you on the same page as him, if you don't want to go along with it, they're going to get your ass up out of there.
Run through a wall or run away. Simple as that.
That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what Darren Muji did. That's exactly what Woody Johnson did. They gave him yet another public vote of confidence. And that's exactly how they should be trying to run this organization.
Whoever you want to be the quarterback, Aaron Glenn, is the quarterback today. However you want to do things is however you want to do things. It's your team now. That doesn't mean, to smallest point, it doesn't mean it's going to work. It means you can't say that
it won't work unless you do that, though.
Right.
It won't work if the head coach is looking over his shoulder and thinking that he has to chum it up with players in the locker room and be friends with them rather than coaching them and getting the best out of them. I say it all the time. Coaching is making men do what they don't want to do so they can become what they want to become.
Right.
It's clear that the individuals they moved on from were resistant to that. And that's why the general manager had to step in and move off of those guys. The one thing I will say, Smalls, because you brought up Sauce Gardner's contract, I love the fact that Darren Muji structured the contract in a way that made it easy to move off of Sauce. Because typically when teams pay guys, they don't want to move on from them in the same year. But when you only give them a $13 million signing bonus and it's a rookie extension, it makes it a lot easier to offload that contract to another team that's going to pay the lion's share of the cash flow. Mm-hmm. And so to make it possible to still move off of Sauce after you get rid of the distraction of a looming contract extension that the player was looking for, I thought was absolutely brilliant by him. And then for the New York Jets, they have maximum flexibility in terms of hunting their franchise quarterback. They don't have to reach in a particular draft for whoever's at the top of the draft board at that position because they've got multiple first-round picks in each of the next 2 drafts. So if you want to go after Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana, cool. If you end up going through the pre-draft evaluation process and you land on that being your guy, if you have conviction, you can take him. But you know what else you can do, Ev? If you don't like any of the quarterbacks in the 2026 class, you can wait until 2027. Mm-hmm. You can wait until Arch Manning comes out or Dylan Raiola or Julian Sayin or somebody else that, that is getting a little more seasoning right now. You can wait on those guys if you so choose. You're not pigeonholed into taking a quarterback this upcoming year just because you feel like you got to have one.
Yeah, you can go to the quarterback rules. Take a quarterback when you want one, not when you need one.
This is a little bit different.
Well, but
it's the principle is the same. The methodology is different.
But the add-on quarterback rule is very much intact. Draft a quarterback when you know your coach is going to be there for the next 3 years. They know their coach is going to be there for the next 3 years now. They did not know that before yesterday.
Yeah.
Now we know Aaron Glenn is safe. And not only is he safe, he's empowered. Aaron Glenn got a contract extension yesterday. Today is day 1 of the Aaron Glenn regime in New York with the Jets. It is now your team. What are you going to do with it?
He ain't the only person that got a contract extension yesterday, though.
Who's the other one? We'll find out next on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.